So welcome everybody to the Freedom Team Call Tuesday night. Dusty Duncan here, Sapphire Ambassador with the team. Blessed and honored to be able to jump on and host this call. We have a very special guest, somebody that I have known for a lot of years, had the honor of knowing her as a small child, then going to high school, then she moved away, and then she came back and went to high school with me and one of my precious friends, Jeannie. And then she moved away and left us again. And moved back to Utah to her family there. She's got a wonderful life, wonderful children, and a wonderful new husband who she's been with for a while, but he's just such a blessing. What a wonderful man. I'm so excited for y'all to get to hear from Libby. She's a brand new Ruby ambassador on the team who's kicking butt, has a rocking team. She's a great leader, great insight, and I know she's got some great information for us tonight. I'm going to turn this over to her, but I want you guys to know the last few seconds of the call, I've got a few maintenance things that I want to go over and remind you guys about. But you know what? Let's hear the good stuff first. So, Liberty, take it away.
All right, guys. So I was asked to share tonight how my team continued to grow through some troublesome times with a website build, rebuilds, and a promotion that was huge that crashed our websites, okay? And so it was really, really awesome, actually. I'm just going to I really have struggled with what to say tonight. And so I hope that whatever I share reaches somebody and touches someone and moves you in your business. A little bit about me. I am very, very driven for my why. Okay, and so when we talk about why, gosh, I didn't expect this to happen so early, but this is where my heart's at, okay? This was one of the hardest years of my life, and if you heard Dusty, she probably triggered this actually. She said, my new husband, and so I have been married before, and that divorce was really, really rough in my life, okay? But I am very blessed with an amazing man that has taken over that area in our household for sure. And he is a huge part of my why, and my kids are a huge part of my why. For those of you that don't know me, I am an office manager of a very successful dental office, and I work about 50 hours a week, and I still have kids and a husband to take care of and myself to take care of, and I have a team of ambassadors that I take care of as well, okay? I am a huge believer in I joined this company for a reason, and I would never sign somebody up underneath me and just leave them hanging. And so I am responsible for them as well. They are my responsibility also. And so how did I get to where I'm at? A little backstory is that my husband worked out of state for 8 years, for about 8 months out of every single year. We never saw him, rarely. Wintertime was when he was home, and it affected all of us. He was never here for family parties or birthdays or games or anything of that nature. And it was spring of 2016, and I noticed a difference in his demeanor when he was packing up for his first trip of the season. And it affected me. It hit me really hard because he'd always just been like so strong, and we had done it for so long that we had become accustomed to it. But this demeanor that he had hit me. And it was about March, and I had briefly seen something about some company that Jeannie was working for, and that she was working towards a car. Now, I didn't care about the car, but I knew if she got the car, that meant success with whatever she was doing to me, okay? So I started stalking her on Facebook. I never ever told her that I didn't feel well. I worked out 6 days a week, and I ate super clean, and I had a horrible digestive system. I had head throbbing sessions that lasted every day. I would have them 3 to 5 times a week. They would make me nauseous. I had light sensitivity. I was anxious and depressed. My husband was hardly home, right? Here I am trying to do it all. And I never told her any of that. I was probably one of the few that looked at this as a business first, but I just messaged her. I signed up over a weekend while she was at convention in Vegas, And I dove in and I just learned and learned and learned everything that I could. I wanted to bring Jeremy home. So from the very beginning, I will tell you I've been consistent with personal development. I'm a huge believer of that. I just noticed before we got on this call that I actually have a bookshelf. I would have never, ever had a bookshelf, not for decorations, not for books, clearly not for books, okay? If you wanted to entertain me, you needed to put something on the TV like like the Housewives of Beverly Hills or Teen Mom or Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Books, I would have fallen asleep within the first chapter for sure. But something happened. I saw a vision with Plexus, and I knew that if one of the very first quotes that I actually read, and I'm going to get it on my wall one of these days in my office, but it is from Eleanor Roosevelt, and it says, to have things you've never had, you have to do things you've never done. And that stuck with me big time, because there were so many things that I wanted for my family. I am still screaming for time freedom from my day job, okay? We have many, many blessings with Plexus thus far, but I knew that I was going to have to do something different than what I was doing. Just like a million people in January go sign up for a gym membership and only use it for a month or two. It takes consistency to get the results that you want. So just going to the gym for 8 weeks and eating really good for 8 weeks is not going to get you, 50 pounds lighter and in a bikini competition. It just takes dedication and time to reach those goals. And so I knew that I needed to change what was uncomfortable to me. One of the books I'm reading right now, so I was going to say, I have 28 books. Just 28. I've read all of those in 18 months, and that doesn't include the ones I've listened to on Audible. And so that is definitely a sign to me even that that's been a huge part of what has been a change in me, is my consistency in bettering who I am myself. One of the books that I'm reading right now is called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. The other night I just did a team call on intentionality, and I truly think that if you are going to do Plexus, you need to be intentional with how you're reaching out to people and how you're posting and things of that nature. But a lot of that stems from reaching outside of our comfort zones, right? And so here's a quote for you. Only a mediocre person is always at his best. Pretty deep there, because if we are just always at our best, that means we're comfortable. We're not like growing and stretching. I know that this has caused me some anxiety just in I was an introvert, and the first time I was asked to talk on one of these, I was a wreck. And even to log on and have someone see my face the first time, I was like, I don't want people to see me. Then to reach out to people and share with them a product that I loved, there were a lot of comfort zones that I had to bust through. But I want you to take a few seconds and think of all the possible ways that you can use a rubber band. Okay? Hundreds, right? Thousands of ways that you can use a rubber band. Now think of a way that you could use that rubber band without stretching it. Kind of becomes useless, right? Because the purpose, I just picture grabbing a rubber band and you just want to stretch it and stretch it and stretch it. But so people are that same way. We get into a point where we don't want to be stretched. We like to be in our comfort zones. And what happens when we start stretching and growing is we become useful. We become more knowledgeable and more educated in things that we're teaching ourselves. And so people tend to stay in familiar patterns and habits. I kind of talked about that already a little bit. And we always do the same things day in and day out. It's what's comfortable. It was really hard for me to make this, to think we kind of get selfish. And so I didn't want to not cook dinner for my family, because that's one of my favorite things to do. Okay, but I sat down with my family in the very beginning, and we had a shareholders meeting. If you've ever listened to Carrie Wilkerson, that's what she calls your family, is your shareholders. And you're going to sit and talk to them about what their goals are as well. Because if they're going to sacrifice some of your time So my family right now sacrifices mom cooking dinner on certain nights so that I can work towards their goals and their dreams also. And getting off track a little bit here, but this is kind of where my heart's going. So when I sat down with my kids, it was pretty neat to hear them open up and tell me what they wanted from, you know, life. And they're older, and I'm at that point now where I've been the working mom. I've been a full-time plus working mom their whole life. My oldest is 21, and I missed out on a lot with him because I was so busy working. And my baby is now going to be 16. And so I have very, very few years to cherish, right? And so that's another huge part of why I do this so hard, is because I want to take those last few years that they are in my home and just love on them as much as I possibly can. And I have this app called Time Hop, and I hate it lately because I love it. I love it to an extent because it reminds me of all of the little moments when they were little, you know, all the little notes, like when I didn't feel good and my little girl wrote me a little note like, I hope you had a good nap, Mom. Man, you don't realize how much you miss those little things when you're a full-time working mom, like all the little things that you miss. And so I can never look at them and okay, so June, July, August, and September, actually, I was a mess. I really, really struggled with just life in general, but I could never look at them and tell them that their why and that their goals were mediocre to what I was going through. That it wasn't important enough to me to work for those goals. And so even in the moments that I didn't want to do Plexus, I did it. Even in the moments that I was fearful of what people would think of me, or just what they would say, or I just had a really crappy day at work, but there was a team call and I needed to be present for my team, I did it. And I swear that's what got me here. I have some amazing people on my team, and I want to be that example for them of being present, of being on PJ parties, on, you know, if they have an answer, being there to help respond to them or helping them find their answer right away. And so I truly think that helping be others focused is something that I've learned a lot in the last 6 months because of that little span of time where I was so me focused. I saw it hurt my business. And when I came back in full force, ready to help others succeed, it definitely helped not only me personally, but it helped my team grow also. And so I do a lot of reaching out individually to them to kind of see how they're doing. We do a lot of 3-way messages. My team is never left to feel like they have to do this on their own. I reach out to them personally about joining, you know, the team calls and things of that nature, but we have a really, really good team culture as well. We love on each other, and we just are always congratulating each other and things of that nature. So be others focused. Know that this is not going to build itself. Just because you could, I read something recently, like you could talk to 100 people about Plexus, and let's say 10 of them are going to be interested right now, and only about 3 really, really would be interested in working the business. Okay, and so you always have to be looking for that next person, and be that person that you want to bring onto your team. So I can't just expect to always go be looking for a runner if I'm not a runner myself, right? And that's not fair to the person that I bring on if I just am like, well, I just sign an ambassador here and there, but I expect you to get 3 every single month, kind of a deal. And so you have to be an example to those that you're bringing on also. But So my biggest thing was just totally scatterbrained on this one. I'm sorry, guys, but to be bold and reach out was another thing that I did. I love cold calls. I don't know why I'm strange like that. I could definitely reach out to a stranger, and a lot of my team, I did not even know them prior to Plexus. When it's time to just add friends, I just go down and I find somebody that is attractive online, somebody that I'm attracted to, that I think has a good presence, and I will send them a friend request. I've gone from 185 friends when I first started to almost 2,000 now. And I've only had maybe 4 people be like, do I know you? And a couple of them I've been able to say like, oh no, but you look, oh gosh, what have I said sometimes? Like, you look like a like-minded person. I'm kind of newer to the area. I don't have a ton of people that I'm friends with. And so I'm just trying to reach out and connect with some new people, and it usually goes over really well. But so just being bold, don't be scared. We have something absolutely amazing to share with people. And some of the best things that have happened to me have happened right on my team. Like the stories that of people's health changing, financial statuses changing. You know, I sit and I've told Dusty before, thank you for saying yes, because had she never said yes, I may never have been here, you know? And so it's kind of neat because it's kind of a ripple effect. We have the power to change people's health and financial status. And those are 2 of the things, I know you guys have heard this, that cause a lot of divorce and a lot of stress and sleepless nights for people. And if you can definitely gain belief in network marketing, that was a hard one for me. And I know it is for a lot of people because it has such a negative outlook on it. But some really, really great books to get are, Rock Your Networking Business by Sarah Robbins. There's one that's called like Your First Year in Network Marketing. Really dive into the business structure and learn about that, because it is the way of the future. It truly is. Corporations are, you know, it's such a different way. Like you go from a management kind of a structure to a leading kind of a structure. It's interesting to see how they're so different, but I definitely feel like that's the way of the future. So make sure that you're diving into network marketing and learning about the business structure, learning about the company, and what a wonderful, I mean, if you have not met Alec and Taro yet, they are amazing men. Watch some of their videos. There is not 1 ounce of either of them that would do us wrong in any way, shape, or form. They are just true gentlemen. And then our products. Like if you do not love every single one of our products, you need to try them all because they are truly amazing. And my takeaway, I guess, if this is going to be kind of a short call, you guys, but if you're just consistent every single day, I reach out to on my slow times, at least 5 new people a day. And then 10 when I'm really, really shooting for a new goal. I do 10 new people a day. And I always have something, we always have something going on our team. So if you're not taking advantage of like the PJ parties or the 7-day challenges, and say you've been around for years and you're like, oh, I did PJ party a few years ago and it didn't really go so well. We have some that are really, really awesome, and we have some that aren't so great, but you just keep doing it. If you just keep participating and adding people to those, it's kind of interesting. Like even 1 new person a month is so worth the invites that you send to get that 1 new person. Keep yourself motivated. Don't expect somebody else to do it for you, and discipline. If you need to make a schedule for yourself, it has helped me a lot because when I first started, I was all over the place. I wanted to try to do the nooks and crannies of my day, but that didn't work for my life because I would try to multitask everything, and that just makes it more chaotic. And so I really had to learn how to only respond to like my ambassadors during the day, and then work my business with my customers and my reach outs and everything at night, and that just works good for my schedule. And then my biggest thing is just do it when you don't feel like it. This is a commitment, and if you want something that you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. So that's about it.
Very, very wise words, y'all. She worked every ounce of this business for herself and her team to get to where she is today. I can tell you, watching her achieve her goal at the end of the month was a thing of beauty because, like Tammy asked her to say, it was a little bit difficult time this last month. There was a few glitches that Libby ran into. Libby, what was it that kept you going to helping your people with your troubleshooting and everything at the end of the month to get those last few points?
So I still have a pretty new team. I've got some runners levels down. Like, I have a runner, I think she's my level 4, and that doesn't even matter to me. I don't even care how far down in the ranks she is or how far down she is in the levels to me. Just seeing her passion and her willingness to share and wanting to be successful. We all just wanted to help make that happen, and so that's just one of many. But we had this great sale, and in years past, like when we had one last year, maybe I wasn't as passionate about the sale that we had last year, but there was something different with this one, and I don't know if my team had a lot to do with that, but just the way that we communicate with each other and encourage each other to take advantage of things like that, it's not only helping her reach her goals, it's helping, her sponsor reach her goals. And it's just so neat to see that go into like this snowball effect where we just encourage each other. And so it was kind of neat because I will be honest, there's been one other time when I thought I was trying to pull myself out of my funk this last summer, where I was like, okay, team, I did a video and it was so embarrassing. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but we are going to just totally double rank. Didn't we have like some crazy summer sale? I don't even remember.
It was probably the challenge to get to Leaders Retreat. Yeah, there was some stuff. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So it's like, we're going to double rank. We can do this. Just Ruby, senior Ruby. And in that moment is when I felt kind of selfish. Okay. I noticed that I was more focused on my goal than I was on my team's goal. And I needed that. I needed that reality check because it has totally helped me become a better leader. And some of the books that I've been able to read since then have just helped me rally them all together, and kind of help them achieve some of their goals. And so when they're achieving their goals, obviously that's just like the whole team sees it. And so it's just like a ripple effect,
Right. So I have 2 questions to ask you. I'm going to ask you one of mine, and then I've seen Tammy asked another one. My question would be to somebody like you that's so amazing at this and has really dove into really utilizing the books that we've talked about. I know I've talked till I'm blue in the face to tell people, hey, listen, these books have changed my life. When Jeannie relayed that to you, hey, I thought Dusty was crazy, but the books, I decided when I was ready to read the books, they changed my life. So when you heard that, what did you think?
She actually told me. Yeah, I did. I like to be challenged. I like to say that I don't like to be like in the spotlight, but when I'm doing something different and people notice it, my husband is my biggest cheerleader for sure. And so just making him proud and being able to come home and tell him like I hit silver or I hit gold, like I'm more excited to tell my family than I am anybody else because that's just a reward to me. So I was talking to Jeannie about like, I listened to all these YouTube videos and I just feel like I don't know where to begin when it comes to being a leader. And she told me, well, you kind of already are in your day job, but Dusty told me this about books and blah, 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 blah. And she told me to get the 5 levels of leadership. And it was weird because what actually triggered me to buy it was that she said, it's a training that we do at Jewel Training. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I want to be a Jewel, and I want to be a Jewel at Jewel Training that was like, I already read that book. That book was actually really good for me early on because I was able to learn about the law of the lid, and that I was only going to attract so many people or like the same level of person as me. I mean, I will tell you that I've brought on people that I feel are at a higher lid than I am, but just after you learn, I know, it's crazy. So I'm just learning how to like appreciate my own skills, and know that I am a better leader than I think that I am. But yeah, so Tammy wants to know about cold calls. Oh my gosh. Okay. Like I said, I stalk their profile page, and I just really go at it from the business. I don't do a lot of product stuff because that was the way that I looked at the business, It just goes back to seeing people that could use some extra money online and how they're struggling to get by. And so I will just, I'll cold call them, and I will just point out something about their profile. Like I'll say, hey, Vanessa, oh my gosh, I absolutely love your pictures. You could totally be a blogger. You have the most creative eye I've ever seen. And I really, really love that. And that's what attracted me to you. And I wanted to reach out to you about an opportunity that I think would just be absolutely amazing for that skill set that you have. When is a good time that we could chat? And then I leave that hanging. Like I really don't bring up plexus. I only talk about like why I'm attracted to them, and then I have an opportunity that they could use that skill for. I get a response a majority of the time. If I do not, within a week, I will message back and say, hey girl, I wasn't sure I saw that you saw my message, but I know what it's like to be a crazy busy mom that works. And so I just wanted to touch base with you and see what your thoughts were. And 99% of the time, I will get a response that says, oh my gosh, I totally did listen to it. And you're right, I am crazy busy and I meant to respond to you. Those were the scariest. When Dusty told me to leave voice messages, I was like, girl, you're crazy, but I'm going to do it. You're crazy, but I'm going to do it. And it's probably my most favorite way of reaching out because they do get to hear the genuine tone in my voice when I am reaching out. Because when I'm reaching out about the opportunity, I am excited about their presence online, and I do see potential in them, and they hear that. So
that I love. Y'all, I'm going to tell you something. This girl has taken, I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional now. Here we go. Okay, so this girl has taken tips from so many of us, even if it's just the littlest one from each one of us. And she has dove into herself. She has dove into her dreams. She has dove into her why like nobody I've ever seen. And she's making this happen. It's not me doing it for her. It's not Jeannie doing it for her. It's her doing it for herself and her team. Okay? It doesn't mean that Jeannie hasn't worked her butt off to help her and her team. It's just that she took what we've all said and she put it into play, and she's doing the work. And that, y'all, is what it takes. Simply said, right? Yes, there is work to be done, and you see with Libby, she does an amazing job. She does things that she outshines the shiniest of the shine, guys. She just does. She's that good, but she's made herself that good. I believe she had amazing traits to begin with. Don't get me wrong, but I believe she has taken those traits and refined them and sharpened them every step of the way to become a successful Ruby ambassador that's on her way to diamond.
Mm-hmm. All right, so one last thing that I'm going to say is check out the Diamond documentaries. I don't get enough of just our team calls. I actually listen to a lot of team calls. I think it's really great. I've even reached out to other Diamonds and been like, how do you do that? Like, what does your team do? Can I be added to this? Like, I know they probably don't love it, but it has really helped me to see other perspectives and maybe something that might work better with my personality, or try it and it doesn't work, kind of a thing. But I follow a lot of Diamond Ambassadors and Emerald Ambassadors as well. So when those October rank ups come out, October rank ups, I was just looking at that, sorry. When those rank ups come out every single month, look at those and go follow them on Facebook. If it ends up being somebody that doesn't necessarily like speak to you and your personality, then unfollow them. It's okay, you can do that. They're not gonna notice, but don't send them a friend request. They have a limited amount, but make sure you follow them. And then you also get ideas for posts. This doesn't have to be hard. I have one girl, she asked me the other day, she's like, I try to make my posts sound so good at, like, so wonderful like yours. And I'm like, sweetheart, I hardly write any of them. Like, those don't come from me. I'm good at like finding somebody that talks like me, you know, or like has a personality like me. But yeah, just go follow. I seriously watch the Diamond documentaries. I have one girl that I just absolutely loved because she was a full-time worker and she got to Diamond being full-time, and I needed to hear that when I was, you know, starting out, like, this is possible. I can do this and work full-time and hit Diamond. And so one thing is that I'm not special. Dusty's not special. Tammy's not special. We're all given the same opportunity. But if you're not putting anything into action, it's not going to happen for you. So you do have to step outside those comfort zones, put yourself into action, and it will happen. It can happen for any of us. We just have to do the steps and take the steps.
You are so very right. Y'all, we are just blessed and honored to have Libby on here sharing tonight, speaking from her heart, just sharing what she and her amazing team are doing. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Libby, for taking time out from your night and your family and sharing with all of us tonight. So thank you. Just a quick few things, guys. I just want to say, if you're not taking advantage of the corporate special that's going on right now, you guys are missing out. Guys, this is huge right now. One new ambassador with a welcome pack and one customer, either retail or preferred, with 75 PV, you're going to get a $50 bonus. Do it twice, they're going to give you a $100 bonus. Do it 3 times, $250, guys. $250. And that is if you're already a seasoned ambassador and already silver. If you're not silver yet, you're going to get another $100 on top of that. Guys, there is serious money to be made here. And guess what? You can do this up to 10 times. That's some serious Christmas cash. I don't know any one of us that don't need extra Christmas cash, myself included. I know me and Libby, you know, sitting down here talking to y'all, we can use some extra Christmas cash. Our kids got expensive taste and we want to bless them every once in a while. We got expensive taste and we want to bless ourselves every once in a while, right? So let's dig in. Let's utilize this awesome incentive that corporate's given us. Plus, they're giving away iPads and iMac Pro and some other stuff for any one of you that start to bring on ambassadors and customers. So those drawings will be going throughout the month. Take advantage of any PJ party that's at your fingertips, any 7-day challenge that's at your fingertips, and take these tips that Libby has blessed us with tonight and run with them, guys. So quickly, just want to pray over everybody before we go. So Lord God, just thank you so much for giving us this wonderful, amazing woman to pour in to us tonight. Lord, thank you for all the amazing people that are on this call tonight that are ready to invest in themselves and actually take it to another level to change somebody else's life, Lord. Lord, bless our businesses, bless our customers, bless the people that are coming to us in the future, because we know we have something that can change their life, whether they realize it right now or not. We have amazing answers. Lord, we pray we do all this work in your glory, in your awesome name. Amen. Thank you guys so very much. Love y'all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye.